Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome
everyone.
to another episode of Galavants through Rashiva. Woohoo!
Oh,
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Woohoo! Woo-woo!
oh, he's glitching into the wall. Someone grab him before he goes into liminal space.
What?
Unfortunately, he is already 4 parallel universes ahead of you.
Oh no, he's in the back rooms of the back rooms.
Before we explain how
My
you
head!
half
My
may
head!
press, first we gotta talk about parallel universes.
Legitimate speedrunning terminology in the Super Mario 64 community.
Wild.
Alright, okay. Koga, recap, go.
Hi, it's me, Taga, back here for Taga Recap. Let's go. Whee! Last time on Galavants and Rashiva. Womp womp. As we sailed back to the Elvis Kingdom, having arrived, done a bunch of mischief, caused a bunch of chaos, and then not so suitably not banned from the kingdom for a while, unclear of when that restriction will be lifted. We had been more or less going back to the Elvis Kingdom. While there, Zerzan and Mara has went to the facility. Zerzan has learned a great more about the tech involved within the kingdom. Lisa and Davin had a moment to talk about each other and learn something more about our resident barbarian lady. And more pressingly, of when this last session is, once everyone was on the ship, another boat appeared. And on it were Mara's parents. So, more or less, a lot of interacting in bringing up to speed what her parents has missed, as she has not seen them since she was a child. Eventually, Lisa pointed out, hey, we have a teleportation circle, so if we want to show them Mara's kingdom, because Mara is now basically efficiently the queen of the kingdom, we decided to use the teleportation circle to actually move back to the kingdom proper. If I'm not mistaken, Zerzan and Davin headed to his shop, to his wife's house, and are hanging out there while Lisa and Mara hang together and continue getting her parents up to speed. Not much happened, really, outside of, like, Kitty and Zerzan shooting the crap, as it turns out that Kitty is actually a pretty big fan of Zerzan's inventions, and that said inventions have become more known to the world, that certain people have begun spreading the knowledge of Zerzan and her inventions across the lands, at least enough that Kitty knows of them. And I was whenever we were layered off, Mara and Lisa were left alone with the boy, as Lisa has asked her to more or less inspect him for any signs of magic or similar. While Zerzan is more or less spending the day over at Kitty's.
What?
That was a sound.
What?
Oh, Koga exploded. The end.
What?
It sounded like you put
Hello?
your microphone through a fucking pressure washer.
That was weird. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, just suddenly it made it sound like.
Ugh.
Weird, yo. Alright. With that recap concluded, I will ask this simple question. What are your guys' actual goals that you want to achieve this session? Since this is ending up being a more low-key order of events, I don't have anything specifically planned unless there's reason for me to bring some events in.
I want to finish working on my phylactery as well as trying to understand the tech with Zerzan and researching, doing whatever we can to figure out properties of the green glassy material that she harvested from the sites of devastation. Possibly visit the crater that was left for the Tabaxi city that Gavin was at before he disappeared.
Okay.
Zerzan
Alrighty.
will begin her Kratos-like quest to slaughter all of the gods this session.
I see.
Hold up.
It's the real reason she's interested in this technology.
She just wants to get back at Gideon.
Understandable.
Yes, Gideon and the don't heavenly domain or whatever. Oh, Zerzan's giving you a gift of the battery. Wait a minute.
What's that?
Hold up.
The gods aren't particularly large. They just look that way because Zerzan is just that short.
Zerzan figures out a way to truly intimidate and terrify her enemies by growing herself by 2 inches.
Gideon thought he was safe from Zerzan's wrath. Gideon did not count on the A10 Warhog.
Ah, yes. Gun with wings. All right.
5 sessions down the line, Gideon's in his little world and looks up in the sky. Hey, is that moon wasn't there before? Wait, why is it glowing green?
Hey. Hold on, guys. Before we get too far away on this, might be more laid back session, but we still want to get stuff done.
Uh-oh.
All right. Who would like to take the reins for going first?
I believe we ended last session with a segment from Mara and Lisa. So, shall we start, little Zerzan?
I am 100% entirely indifferent.
Excellent. You're both starting. Go.
We're still at dinner. Gavin is currently happily listening to Zerzan and his wife going back and forth on multiple subjects as they eat, and while he eats like Kid Goku.
Yeah, Kitty has finished rounding off a topic of discussion that is about the benefits of the steam engine and its possibilities for enhancing the average working life of your normal Rashivan individual, and how there is great possibility for ease of unification between the relatively disparate nations. Although she does express that there is the distinct possibility that if we do, if we do make this advancement, that the Vanishing Isles are going to turn it into some sort of comically enormous, like, warship thing, and I have to admit I'm a little worried about that potential end result.
You think they might already have it?
Oh, darling, remember to please finish your bite.
Well, sorry. You think they might already have it? That made no sense of a statement. You think they might already have?
Well, no, there's not enough unification between the pirate factions, excepting for the Pirates of the Code, and generally they follow whatever the Goddess of the Sea says, so it's unlikely that they'd have developed anything quite so warlike as that.
That's fair, but remember, darling, we're not exactly sure what all is in there, and we just keep finding new things. Like the French.
She blinks?
What, you never heard of France?
I can't say as I have.
Huh. Hmm. Another new song with France in it. Oh well. Maybe it's lost to time.
Well, could be. Might be something that only existed in the first or second ages. I mean, for all we know, it could have been one of the countries wiped out when the Song Speaker Empire ruled.
Hmm. Oh, research things. Zerzin, why don't we show Kitty the glass?
She raises an eyebrow at that.
We most certainly can. Although the only thing I wanted to tack on to that conversation, just to round it off, is well, there certainly is any potential for destruction, be it great or small, with any sort of scientific discovery. I don't see why that should be any reason why it should hinder progress. No matter what happens, people will find bad things to do with good things, and that's just going to happen. But I don't think knowledge should not be sought because someone might do something bad with it. So, sure, if that technology exists, someone could make some big, great warship, but if that technology exists, then the technology exists to make another one to destroy it. Obviously, it could go down a whole rabbit hole on its own, but you know.
Heck, even evil inventions have been taken by others and then turned for good purposes.
Exactly. So knowledge is what I think would be the most important thing, and we cannot let fear of what might come from discovery stop us from discovery, or else, civilization kind of stagnates. And as she is talking, she's like rustling around in one of her um, bags or whatever, and then she takes out one of the stones and sort of gestures it over to her. I found these in the remnants of Mara's village.
She sort of grimaces at that, but nods.
It appears similar to, I don't know, some of the sheen that was in the crater that Gideon made by the castle. We never really fully investigated. I suspect there's some in there too.
So she reaches out to take it, and both of you go ahead and roll Arcana.
I don't have my dice out. Oh no.
Good job.
Derp.
He says like he
Look,
hasn't
I
done
was
it many
eating.
times.
I was both hungry and role playing, so I was eating.
17.
Sweet.
Ba, 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 ba. Give me a moment. That's a natural 19, so 34.
Good heavens.
I have a plus 15.
Oh, both of you being real good at magic stuff. Alrighty.
Arcana expertise. Let's go.
Woo! Yeah. She's more of the
alright.
mechanical arcana. I'm more of the mystical.
As both of you are looking, you see a sort of weird distortion in the natural flow of Aethera around this piece of crystal, this piece of, purified silica. And as soon as she actually touches her hand to it, you see her hand wilt and turn like a dried, sickly color, and you can see Aethera flow into this glass and then almost immediately vanish. And she recoils her hand and it drops onto the ground.
Gavin is immediately on the other side of the table and holding her in her hand. Let's see. He's using his razor tooth bandages to give her a big ol' heal. Let's see.
That works by magical or physical means.
Magical.
You, with your good attunement to the senses of Aethera's flow, you feel that the magic sort of it doesn't exactly heal her, but it does restore the natural flow of magic to that hand, which does give it some color back, and you can see it starting to turn back its normal color.
What in the blazes?
I don't mean to. Here, I'm gonna roll something here. Gavin, can you roll a perception check? Because I just want to see if you notice something that Zerzan does.
Well, shit, that's a natural 20 for 26.
Oh.
He's alert suddenly.
As you jump up to use one of these bandages, Zerzan almost looks confused at the fact that you're doing that. But she walks over and just picks up the rock. Because she collected a bunch of these and didn't have any ill effects. So I'm assuming she can just pick them up.
Yeah, you pick it up, and it feels as bereft of any magical substance of any ethera as when you first discovered them.
Huh. Durzin takes out her notebook.
Are you all right, darling?
Uh, um, I'm certainly well, but I just, I don't know. I touched it, and it was like it suddenly started absorbing rapidly. I don't understand.
I wonder if other sources of it would have the same effect, but I don't want to test it. I really don't want to test it.
You're an Alround of sorts, right?
She nods.
Alround are magical creatures, correct?
Well, yes. Nexus is, in a manner of speaking, we're blessed creatures of the goddess Alpheris.
Um, hmm. You're an alchemist, right? Do you have a potion you wouldn't mind perhaps not getting back?
I'm not specifically an alchemist. I own varieties of potions. Oh,
Oh,
what do you need?
Alchemy is a more glorious forte.
oh, that's right. My bad. I apologize. I'm getting people mixed up. Something you wouldn't mind maybe not getting back. Doesn't matter what. Just a potion.
Or a
She
very minor magical item, actually. Like one of the gag gifts.
she nods and kind of pulls out a vine from the wall, which has a variety of said potions hanging from it, and she takes out like a real simple looking one.
There isn't just like takes the potion, opens the like pops the cork off and sets it down, and then she takes the rock and just drops it in.
So you drop it in, and it remains largely inert. At least for the moment, it does not appear to be doing anything.
Curious.
Maybe it has to be a living thing. So you know what? I'm just gonna set this aside over here and keep an eye on that because who knows what might change, if anything. I just didn't know if it acted as a magical siphon of some sort.
It is a very peculiar thing. I wonder, where did you say you got this from?
Well, once Mara's village was, you know, um, I went down into the crater to inspect things because I just wanted to check out the aftermath, and I found a whole bunch of these all over the place. I collected quite a number of them, quite a lot of them.
That's it's concerning in some way because a thing like that, if it's, I guess, like any new mineral, it comes with its risks. That's simple enough to say.
I wonder
As is all forms of discovery.
I wonder if it didn't absorb magic from the potion because it only absorbs so much before it's charged.
Zerzan takes another rock and drops it into the potion bottle.
This one also seems to be inert, but I'll give you this, like, if you wanna, you can go ahead and make a roll for Arcana.
May we both?
21.
Alright. Like, as you're dropping the other one in, you can see that there's a very tiny amount, which seems to be, like, almost dripping into both of them now.
Oh, I'm just gonna let that sit there for a few minutes, see what happens over time.
I wonder if you touched an uncharged one to a charged one, if the energy would go between the two, or if it would do something else.
If it even is charged, when I picked it up, it didn't seem to have any sort of magical charge to it. It seemed pretty inert once I picked it up off the ground, so. Who knows? We're just gonna let that sit there for a few minutes.
Whatever further testing we do with it, though, besides the potion, considering what we just saw, I would like to do it in a more controlled environment.
Certainly.
Open and away from. Gavin looks around a house, quite frankly. Was not expecting that.
I don't think any of us were. Feel like if we knew that would have happened, we wouldn't have offered one to your wife.
I certainly would not have, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Gavin
Um,
kisses her forehead. we. I wonder if it would have a similar effect on Gloria if she touched it.
well, question. And Zerzan looks to Kitty. Can you just grow that hand back?
Normally, I could have done that instantly, but she holds up the hand, and it's almost like back to a it's normal green, but like it's taken a minute. It's like this would normally have taken 30 seconds or fewer, and it didn't even start healing until Gavin applied his item.
My bandages, they typically heal wounds rather instantly, but something different happened here. It's like the essence of the magic that was going into her hand was severed as it was taken, and the natural flow was restored by the bandages.
Well,
I've never seen something
then
like that.
we are lucky that you have the luxury of growing a hand back. So I doubt Gloria would have that same ability. So, as much as a dark part of my curiosity would like to see what happens if we toss one of these at her, I would vote that's probably not a good idea.
I agree.
I want to discover things, but I don't want to permanently hurt anyone in the process. Gloria's gone through enough. Okay. Well, we learned something at least. It doesn't seem like anyone got too terribly injured. Sorry about that, Kitty.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure there's no fathomable way we could have guessed that.
Well,
Shall we continue, dinner?
yes. Let's finish up here, and then I think it's best if we go find the other two again, because we need to, even if we're resting, we still need to figure out what our next move is going to be.
All right. It takes a solid minute for Gavin to get back into his normal eating. So that first minute, he's a bit hesitant, nervous, and then food. Oh, Zerzan. Uh, it also occurred to me, you are technically the discoverer of this material. It's only right that you name it.
Uh, I suppose. But I will figure that out some other time.
That's fair. Trinitite becomes fucking unobtainium.
Just call it something dumb like snood.
Calling it Zerzanite.
Zerzinium. Oh, and there are definitely rooms at the castle if you want one of those. We also have a guest room here if you would rather stay here for a bit.
Well, I think it's probably best to get back to the castle as soon as we can.
Fair enough.
That is just my opinion, though. I mean, far be it from me to keep you away from your wife. So if you would like to stay around here as long as you want, that is your decision to make. But I at least will be heading back once dinner is done.
I think I'm going to stay here for the night. I will see you in the morning then.
Understandable. So once food is finished, Susan will be on her way back to the castle or wherever the other two goobers have gone.
And Gavin will be staying home for the night and attending to Kitty in whatever form that might take.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
Though certainly after seeing that,
Yeah,
it's a
it
bit
is.
more tender than usual.
That is rather understandable, considering, you just saw her hand get, like, withered before his very eyes.
Accidental casting of blight. Ah! Carl, don't cast blight on the plant people.
You're... Okay. So then, are you guys concluded with your section for now?
I am,
I
anyway.
am.
Okay. Alright. That gives us Koga and Mara.
Halfway through their conversation, Zerzan kicks down the door. I'm here, bitches!
Boom, baby.
Just throws one of the rocks at Mara. Here, catch. Just to see what it does.
Mara just fucking disintegrates. Ugh.
Alright, what two fool was doing?
Alright, so, when we left off, Mara's father had just left, right?
Yes.
Alright. So it's just us and the child. Alright.
Yippee!
Cuts to Lisa and Mara just beating the kid up.
Fight back! Fight back!
What are you gonna do about it, huh?
Dodge!
We bought you. We get to do what we want, right?
Leans down next to the kid. You are my property.
Alright.
Fucking dodge.
Alright. Mara will look over at the child. I hope you're enjoying the castle so far.
Yippee! Sorry.
It's big. I admit I don't know what to do with myself. But I'm comfortable.
Well, that's good. I'm sure you'll find
Yeah,
stuff to do.
I'm still trying to think of a name and the idea that I'm allowed to have a name, or even just talk. That's a lot. If you're worried, you probably should be.
Well, with any due luck, those drow their business shouldn't be around for all that much longer.
What are you guys gonna do about it?
And at that she looks at Gideon.
What? Gideon just in from heaven.
Lisa.
Wait a minute.
What do you
Gideon.
need, mortal?
His head just pops out of the
God.
ceiling.
Ah, you need divine intervention? Alright.
Hey, yo, what's up, bro?
What again?
Lisa looks over to Mara, and lies sending Saona. It's going to very simply as we're not letting them live, right?
Mara sort of takes a breath, and you see her sort of grip her silverware a bit tightly, and with a very hesitantly, she will respond, "No, I don't think so."
And so just sort of look over to the wolves and we say, we have all that we need in order to track them down. That is a good start.
Going to be right back.
And not just track them down, but she's going to sort of hold up the sort of chain she has with. We also have the ability to free everyone there.
Those only work on each single individual.
She's gonna sort of tilt her head.
That's why you were given it is. I'm not supposed to really pay attention, but yeah, that one only works on me.
She's gonna sort of frown at that. Then why is there so many for the?
I think some of them are just kind of your little green friend would be able to tell better. What I mean.
I suppose not out of the question of visiting her again. That does make things slightly harder, but nothing we can't handle.
When are you all going to do your plan, I guess?
For the moment, as much as I would like to go after them immediately, most of the party is in need of a rest. Between our Lord's Mara's appearance of her parents, the village, my deity appearing and visiting, and the Dwarven Kingdom figuring us out, I expect most of us are in need of a small break to pursue our own goals.
He nods at that, and he actively looks like he kind of looks tired from even that much talking.
My lord, Mara.
Yes.
Sorry, Lana.
All good, all good. I was just gonna offer if you wanted to roll insight, you could learn a little more.
Yeah, I'll roll insight, but to be honest, Lisa is putting her attention briefly on Mara and asking, may he have a spare room of his own?
Sure. There should be plenty of spares. I think. I hope.
Lisa sort of smiles at that. That's the insight. Yippee! +0. Let's see. 17.
Ooh. Okay, you can see he has exerted an enormous amount of even physical effort to speak as much as he has and be as forward as he has been. And he looks practically exhausted at even that small amount of effort put forward.
Yeah, Lisa, it don't just straight up pick him up. It's gonna sort of lift up. Very well then. I shall take him to his room.
Alright, you are picking him up. Okie dokie.
I'm back. I missed everything that happened between now and then because I poked my finger with a knife by accident.
No finger.
Yep, it's gone. All gone.
I
No
No
eat
more
it.
left index finger.
Right, stole it.
Crunchy.
He can no longer point.
Alright. You reach to pick him up, and immediately, like, as soon as, like, you make that motion to heft, you feel a pair of claws that dig into you, and you see him, like, standing, like, fearful, like a couple feet away from you. You've taken 12 points of slashing damage. He landed a critical hit.
One of her
Another
eyes is
werewolf?
looking out.
Goodness.
And he looks even more fearful at the fact that he lashed out, and he just kind of curls into a ball and just sort of makes a whimper with a look that you might just that he hopes you might forget he's right where he's at.
All right, kill this little shit.
Alright, Richie, roll for this. I'm kidding. Feeling the sort of claws. Feeling sort of the claws rip across her chin, and that's blasting across. I'm assuming it would be like across the face or something.
Arms or face, yeah, like in places he could easily reach, like as you were grabbing.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, feeling sort of feeling sort of the blood sort of pouring from like her face, sort of pouring from her cheek. Lisa, it does something to very simply grab one of the napkins, sort of like pat off the blood from the rune, sort of hold it against the tut, and go, "That was a good hit, boy. You'll need to remember how to do that. You did good. I wasn't exactly expecting that, but
He curls
I'll give you
in
one next
even
time."
more tightly on himself and makes a more terrified whimper.
Lisa sort of shakes her head. I do apologize for not giving you sufficient warning. I'll keep that in mind next time.
What are you doing to torture this poor child?
Lisa
Like, I'm
gets,
actually curious what happened. I missed everything.
Lisa
See, like
gets
they went to pick him up.
Lisa gets slashed by this kid, and she's just like, "Damn, bro, sorry, I didn't realize you were chill like that."
Yeah, I think Lisa perhaps forgets the situation that this young lad was once in, but she'll figure it out, hopefully.
She's a little
Hopefully.
confused, but she's got the spirit.
This turns out this kid is Gohan.
Don't touch my mom. She's just gonna sort of get a bit closer and just sort of crouched over him. When you're ready to go, I'll be here waiting for you. Don't worry.
All right. So, yeah, as you look at him, he looks functionally comatose.
He's in shock.
Lisa thinks for a moment, then looks over to Mara, still like holding like turned down like blood stained napkin still on her face, and they're like, "May you bring me some pillows and a blanket? I don't think I'll be able to move him like this. Or at least, if not, making him more worried."
Yeah, okay. And she will go get one of the castle staff to get some pillow and blanket.
Poor castle staff, man. They've had some fucking wild times since the party first showed up.
Oh yeah. You don't have to wander very far, like 20 feet, and one of the servants of the castle stops and bows to you. Oh, yes, blankets and pillows. Well, of course, my lady. We'll have those right away.
Thank you.
And very shortly thereafter, they bring them in and make a sort of a bed, careful not to approach the quite terror-stricken young lad.
Lisa sort of nods at them, gives them her own bow, sort of takes one of the blankets, sort of drapes it over the boy, and is going to like very carefully, very slowly, very gently move the pillow to be underneath his head.
Yeah. He flinches, and you can see him go kind of pale as you do move his head a bit, yet he does not move otherwise.
Wonderful. Lisa sort of gives like a half smile at him, then sort of nods at Mara. "Thank you, my lord."
She nods back. Anytime.
Lisa then sort of stands up and then moves over to join Mara's side. Just still occasionally glancing over to her effectively adopted son now.
That poor kid.
Yeah.
And it seems shortly as you're observing, he just passes out there.
Good. He's going to need that strength. And then sort of look over to Mara. "We have something to discuss, if you don't mind."
Yeah, alright.
Somewhere, I know, I suppose. And she's going to say this through the sending zone. There is something about him I noticed.
Alright.
he seems to be blessed by one of the deities. Oh, Furus.
Sorry, say that again?
Lisa, through the sending stone now, speaking directly to Mara, it done to simply speak, he seems to be blessed by one of the deities.
Which one?
Remember how Lord Val had flowers in his hair?
Indeed.
He too has one hidden in his. I believe that is a sign of blessing from Alfuris, the goddess of nature.
Hmm. I see.
I thought taking care of him would be difficult, but now I know that he's a blessed child. It seems even more tough now.
And I don't want him anymore.
You want him? Fuck, go.
He's your problem now, Mara, and Lisa just leaves.
2 copper pieces and he's yours.
uh, um. Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. Gods are your forte and all.
Right. But our sure daughter of Lordress, Lady Rashiva, I haven't exactly been the most studious when it comes to her and her edicts. Well, I have to look into what she desires. I'm glad he seems to be getting along here.
Indeed. Wouldn't be good if he was causing trouble.
Lisa has this sort of almost a smirk on her face and sort of almost jokingly says, if he was causing trouble, I'd be even more proud of him, if that's even possible.
Of course you would.
Has a nice set of claws on him. Serve him well.
Yeah. With any luck, though, he won't have to use them.
Of course. That's the only thing I can hope for, but I'm training him, so if it comes to, he'll be more than able to defend himself. Speaking of which, I should probably chat to both to Titty again, and perhaps even Gavin, as there's something else I noticed. This is, hold on, I need to ask you something real quick, Lana. Blah. Here, I sent the question, Lana.
Alright, give me 1 second to answer something else here, and I will get right to you.
Wow, I can't believe you. For shame. Unbelievable. pity by the second. Lisa might have been the single.
Buddy, you are cutting out.
Oof.
Yeah, cutting out hard, man.
All right.
So Lisa roll something for more information?
Yes. I'll actually have you roll medicine for that.
Medicine. Oh, that's something it's proficient in. It's poggers.
Hey, that's one of the few times that Lisa has rolled with a proficient skill.
That's a 16.
Okay.
The only things he has higher than a +5 proficiency in is athletics. Lisa sort of furls her bow, sort of frowns for a moment, and sort of speaks to Mara through Sunshine Seal. The other thing I noticed is that he's a werewolf too, much like our dear Galvin.
Oh.
He doesn't seem to be able to hide the traits quite as well.
That's...
Luckily, yeah, I'm sure I can handle this one.
Are you certain?
I don't really have much choice in the matter. But maybe asking Gavin for some help would be in order as well.
Well, I'll trust you to keep an eye on it. If you need any help, you know who to ask.
I sort of frowns for a moment before sticking her head. I'm not exactly used to werewolves or most supernatural entities like that. Is there anything you might know off the top of your head that could help me with them?
I know that, I know from Gavin that they can be calmed by those around them, or with the use of the calm emotion spell.
Lisa sort of looks over and sort of frowns for a moment. Well, I'm not exactly the most calming type, nor am I able to cast that spell.
Things would be much simpler if we still had Barrick around with us.
And still something odd. If Maeve, what am I saying? And via sending stone to Galvin from Oregano, I'm assuming there's not really a distance gap. I'm assuming Kitty's place isn't like in its alternate dimension. Lisa is going to send a message to Gavin. Very simply, I'm going to need to speak to you and your wife again.
To be fair, considering it's Kitty we're talking about, it could be in another dimension.
Hmm?
It's not, but it could be. In the morn, please.
Right. Lisa thinks for a moment, and before looking back to the boy and thinking for yourself, oh, right, I'm going to need my own pillow for the night.
Lisa just grabs a rock. Pillow!
I mean, she is a soldier, and from my experience in the volunteer search and rescue organization Civil Air Patrol, rocks make surprisingly decent spots for a nap.
Yeah, Lisa just grabs Mara, lays down on her. This works.
Very well, we'll have a pillow ready for you then.
Thank you, Mara. Is there anything you'd like to talk or discuss about?
I think I should be going. I have some business I need to attend to.
And Lisa will sort of bow and then pause for a moment, and then sort of, I apologize for what I've discussed with you before about your parents.
Hmm.
It's not my place to cast judgment upon them, but
Yeah. Yeah.
and with that, Lisa will simply take one of the seats.
And then Mara will nod. She'll tell one of the staff to bring another pillow for Lisa, and then she will head out.
Alrighty. How close are we to that bio break timer, by the way?
40 minutes.
Oh, dang. Man, it feels like a lot more time's passed. Wow.
It can be like that sometimes. Well, here, if you need a bio break, we could divide it into thirds instead of halves today.
I mean, I will probably be getting up to use the bathroom indeed. Because, yeah.
All right.
All right.
I guess that means we'll be taking a short break, friends.
All right then. Yep, we will be back in about 5-10 minutes. Yay.
Something like that.
3 hours later.
All right.
How it always goes.
See you in a bit. Bye. And we're back. Hello.
Yep. We back.
Well,
Have we got plans? Not strictly. We're not the group for that. So if you came here for a very planned out campaign, you are unfortunately on the wrong channel.
What are you talking about? We have plans. Find enemies, kill enemies.
True.
Well, except at present, you guys are just doing like little slice of life bits, basically. Unless
But
Mara has something here to shake things up.
or Zerzan kicking down the door to collect her harem.
I promise.
Ugh.
Alright, so what you do? You're kind of the one that's up there, Mara, buddy.
Oh. Uh. I was intending for this to be when Mara goes and does the stuff we talked about in the
Ah, okie dokie. Well, then I will need you to answer which one of those options you will be attempting to pursue. Because that will determine how I do actually formulate things upcoming.
Okay.
I did lie, I do plan some things.
Alright.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to think on that.
Alright.
Ugh.
Then, in light of not having a more proper plan set down ahead, I'll ask real fast, was there anything more you wanted to do, or do you want to pass it on to Lisa next to see if she has anything?
I'll pass it on to Lisa.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm muted. Oh, hi.
Yeah, no, you're here. We're just the baton's been passed to you, as you may or may not have realized.
I have the talking stick now.
Uh-huh. You should probably talk with it. Just a
uh,
suggestion.
yeah, I think Lisa sort of heads to bed, or at least tries to head to bed. She's going to very simply sort of close her eyes and toss very much like a trick prayer to Gideon, to the rest of the Pantheon, etc., etc. Very like general. Uh, this is more like a prayer, not for herself, but more or less directed towards the boy, more or less wishing well upon him and wanting the deities to look after him.
Alrighty. Alright. You send that prayer out. Get the feeling that it has been heard. There's not much more of an answer than that, but you get the warm feeling that comes with understanding it has been heard.
Yeah, and I think with that, Lisa will very simply take a pillow that's been assumedly given to her and sort of rest her head down on the table. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it from her.
Laying down, there is that comfort of the night. Let me do a dice roll, which is very convenient that my cat hops up just then to, conveniently get in the way of me doing a dice roll.
Yeah.
She knows.
Cats will be as cats are is. Okay. Mara, I have Something for a you.
Ooh.
Oh, and Lana, feel free to answer when you can, but I did send you a message too.
Ah, thank you.
Yep.
Golly. That is genuinely a good question. I will have to issue my apologies. I have not been keeping track of that. That is my answer to you there, Mr. Dank. Alright. Tamara, I will ask, are you doing anything?
I think once all that was said and done, she'd probably check in early.
Alright. Then, indeed, sleep comes to at least Lisa and Mara. And for the both of you, it's relatively comfortable. Certainly as comfortable as it can be. I will pass the baton next to Zers. Not only Zers next, because I'm pretty certain Gavin will have something, and I'll let you have the baton last, as I imagine it is a longer form thing you got planned.
Oh, am I up?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that in part would depend on when Zerzan reaches her destination. Because she didn't stay at Gavin's place. She started heading right over to the castle. However, honestly, if it's about dark by the time she gets there, she probably would have just slept in her wagon.
Considering you have the wagon, it wouldn't have taken very long, really, to get there. Like, you'd have been able to get there in, I don't know, half hour, a little less.
Well, you know what? Honestly, at that point, I'm sure the night would still have been coming to a close, so she probably would have just finished out the day by hanging out outside in whatever courtyard, just taking notes, and again, probably use the wagon as a place to sleep. I mean, that's basically been her home for a good long while anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's anything more specific than that. No, I don't. I don't think there's really anything else I can I can think of to have her do it all.
Okie doke. Alright. Then, Gavin, I guess you're next up.
I mean, I was just for the rest of this night, I was just attending to Kitty, and then getting to bed with her and everything. So I just saw
Alright.
my wife receive what could have very much been a grievous injury. Gavin's kind of just focused on her.
Tending to the wound, you do find that it, after a little while, it begins to heal itself. It begins to work its way back to normal health. And certainly with your attending to her, it's able to get back to its fully working order. And to your eyes, you can tell that it appears to have returned to its normal full health. Seems to be back to functioning. Like she can move each finger normally. She can flex the hand, grow little flowers on it. Anything that she may normally need.
Actually, Gavin will at some point when they're both in bed. He's just kind of laying there, thinking. Kitty, you know the old phylactery of the lich that I killed a long time back? The one I've been working on?
She kind of rolls over, but she looks over to you, nods. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I do remember that. Mm-hmm.
I think I've got it at a decently stable point. I just need to figure out a way to, well, bind it to me without becoming a lich myself, but I think I've been a bit stumped as of late. Figured I'd ask you. I need some sort of. I need something to bind it to me to represent the connection between, I think, life and death. That's the best I can guess. I can't say that it would extend my life, but it would certainly aid in keeping me alive for a bit longer, at least.
Hmm.
Given everything that's happening, that's that's a good thing to hope for.
You're really sure this is a good idea?
This isn't becoming a lich or anything, so quite frankly, if I did that, I would think that me finding religion more recently would be a bit pointless considering who it is. Goddess of time, not to mention the goddess of death, whom our literal monarch is an agent of. They would not be too pleased with that. But this is just something to increase survivability.
I guess I'm just concerned. But are you asking if I can help you find something like that? That would help finish it?
Give me just a moment.
What was that?
I sent you a message here. Finding something, maybe, but I'm just thinking that the best person to ask with this particular project for any help on is you. You're wise, you're smart. If there's anyone that I know who can help, it's you. Not to mention the fact that you are a very glowing and radiant example of life manifest, incarnate, wild and beautiful.
She blushes rather enormously at this quite loud praise. Kind of just puts a hand on your face.
At the very least, I think we should take a look at it together. If there's anyone who can bridge actual life into this thing, it's you.
Well, thank you. I really don't know what to say. But I'll help if I can.
Thank you. And Gavin will, do the husband wife, snuggle kiss shuffle off screen.
Aw. Oh, that's cute.
And this is that is what I've got for that evening. So Evening went and morning came.
All right.
And so did Gavin.
I'm sorry. I just looked over into the Discord chat as I was finishing saying this, and the first thing I see is Zerzin there just typed out breeding. I'm sorry, what? What is happening? Oh, you're talking about 40k orcs, okay.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh.
Moving
Well,
on.
that's already happened, so.
Alrighty. Uh-huh. I will ask, who does have anything they might like to do in mind?
Hi, Lana. Hi.
All right. Glad we can count on Koga to have something of an active plan in mind.
Well, yeah, I already mentioned it. Lisa needs our dearest Gavin and our funny plant lady. Hee hee.
In the morning.
But it will now be morning. No.
Indeed.
Okay.
Cool. Then Lisa sort of wakes up, sort of rubs the back of her neck as she sort of stretches for a moment, and looks back to make sure her boy is still sleeping or if he's awake, etc., etc. How's the boy looking?
As
Really
you
gone.
you get up and like as you pick your head up and you look around, you see like him trying to like sneak out of the room, and he notices you're noticing of him, and he just sort of freezes, and he kind of like looks around a little guiltily.
Lisa sort of tilts her head for a moment. And where were you intending to go?
Go outside and hide.
Hide. Sort of tilting her head.
Yeah, I left the scratch on your face, and yeah, that's what I was going to do. Ah, Cogs, are you muted?
Hi. Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
oh, just making sure in case you
Uh,
were
well,
replying and well, wasn't actually being heard.
I'm sorry. I was performing the long rest on Lisa's seat, and I see of the things that she can recover, intelligence is somehow one of them. I don't know why she's missing intelligence or what that implies, but sorry. Lisa is going to very simply stand up and begin moving towards the boy. Not very aggressively. She is doing it slowly, steadily, making clear that she has no real ill intentions with this.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's going to very sort of lean down a little, sort of tilt her head to the side so he can get like a pretty good glance of sort of the now at least somewhat healed over mark on her face, and it's feeling like this very gentle smile. Boy, I'm not mad at you for stretching me in the slightest. The fact you being able to do that fills me with a good amount of pride. You're a fierce
He
thing.
flinches.
I quite enjoy it. Sort of frowns. I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm glad that you have some fierceness to you. I'm glad that you're able to laugh out like that. I'm glad that you have the ability, at least somewhat, to defend yourself.
He
Fills me with
shrinks
some
in on
pride.
himself and he starts to quickly walk away. He does not look comfortable.
Lisa has no. Lisa is more confused by the second. She does not understand why this is not working. Put it simply.
Yeah, boy.
Oh my gosh, Lisa's obliviousness.
Lisa does not know how to mom.
Yeah. Nope. Lisa simply sort of frowns at that for a moment, and does to follow him.
And like as as he hears your footsteps, he starts walking a little faster.
Noticing him walk faster, she too kicks up her pace ever so slightly to keep in line.
He starts walking a little faster than that.
Lisa continues following, and then very slightly calls out, did I say something wrong again?
At that he stops and he looks and he has quite a face of guilt. In fact, here, hold on. I'm gonna roll charisma for him to see if he's even like willing to say this.
Charisma saving throw to talk back.
He opens his mouth, starts to try and say it, and returns to his very worst attempt at walking away from you.
Lisa is even more confused. Can she roll like an insight or something?
Yes.
Alright. Of all her fights, of all her combats, this is the most difficult battle of all. Motherhood. Simple human interaction. Her one weakness.
So it would seem.
How is a flat 4 doing?
Gosh, it sure looks like he tried to say something. I wonder what. Maybe I should ask him.
Where are you going to speak, boy? I'm all Ears, I'm very willing to listen.
Uh, he uh he turns the corner and Zers, you hear a firm knock on your door.
My door? My door? I'm in my wagon.
Yeah, he has led Lisa on a goose chase through the whole castle to find you, and yes, is knocking on your door.
What door?
The door of your wagon.
You theoretically have a very small sleeping interior.
Does-
Yes? That's what I had been assuming anyway.
Oh, I was taking it as like... You know, like the literal, like, frontiersman, like, covered wagon? That's basically what I was picturing her wagon as. With,
Okay, I
like...
was picturing it as slightly more full structured than that.
Oh no, this whole time I've just been imagining it as like a covered wagon with sort of a portion on the back that's not covered just to allow for the little crane part to deploy the Colossus. But otherwise it's just like a covered wagon, like she can draw some curtains over the front and back, but that's about it.
We have clearly had very different mental images of this wagon the whole time.
Yes, because Zerzan is one person trying to procure all of these things herself, and the Colossus is her magnum opus. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for the wagon to be a bigger, more advanced piece of tech than her magnum opus. She's not rolling around in a camper,
Well,
although that would be very funny.
She just has
hold
an
on.
RV.
Okay. No matter what sort of a wagon, however covered or not covered.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get off on a tangent.
No, that's all good. Like wagon is receiving knock. We'll go with that.
You dog kids, get off my property. So I guess Zerzan will very leerily like blink her eyes open and like roll over, and like the curtains that quote unquote close the wagon, she like draws them open and she's looking out, clearly just roll out of bed, hair an absolute mess. She's just like, huh?
And the boy just points at Lisa and is like, help.
Lisa has this sort of look of confusion on her.
Just
Just
looks up
remember,
at
all looks on Lisa's face because of her entire past are looks of rage.
she just looks up at she's like, are you bothering the kid again?
Bothering? I simply don't understand him.
She like sits up more properly now. He's just like, Lisa, listen. Kid has been through more than you or I could probably even imagine. Okay? he wants to get away.
Yes?
Whatever. Curiosity. When we entered that warehouse or what have you.
Yep, my internet
Mara's
is...
internet problems have come back for vengeance.
Yep.
It's finally dead internet theories
Oh.
confirmed. That's what it means, right?
Okay, alright, okay. It's looking like... Okay, my download speed has gone back to normal, but my upload speed is at 5.
It's
We're so
the stream is
over.
definitely the stream is up, but it's definitely stuttering
Yeah.
from what I can tell.
Yeah, the OBS keeps on disconnecting, and when it is connected, it is in the red.
Maybe you need to restart your router or something.
I tried that.
Yeah, Mara actually did try that last time this issue was occurring.
Okay, try turning your internet off and on again.
That's what restarting the router is, yes.
Hey, tried eating it.
Yummy. Okay.
Well, it
Hey,
doesn't
try
seem to be
taking a
stuttering
hammer to
now.
it.
So we are definitely still live.
Yep.
All right.
More or less.
Well, at least we got that going for us.
Sorry.
So sort of pause for a moment and then sort of frown.
She'll hold up a
I
hand.
suppose you wouldn't be one to judge.
Susan holds up a hand. She's like, listen.
At least it
before
is
you
silent.
Continue any further. I just want to say, if it is a touchy subject, you can feel free to tell me, and I won't press it any further. I am simply curious, and I just want to know. I like to learn things. So don't feel like you have to tell me anything you don't want to. So, and then she gestures towards her, like, proceed.
So nod. May I join you in your wagon? Motor bill? What do you call this thing of yours?
She just shrugs. She's like, I've just always called it a wagon. Not a very flattering term, I know.
May I join you in your wagon?
Yes. Give me one moment. This wagon is unsurprisingly not very large and would not provide a super comfortable place to sit. However, given the sort of cloth covering on it, she's able to like roll it back and sort of leave the top open, I guess, which provides much more room to, sit down and not be hunched over in this tiny little wagon. And she just like scoots aside.
And it's like, yeah, this wagon is goblin sized.
It's not necessarily goblin sized, but it wouldn't make you can't really stand up comfortably in it. But yeah, she clears a little bit of room and
Elisa will just Lisa will take a seat in the front seat. As you to imagine, I spent most of my life, as obvious as that is, and in fact, for the greater part of my life, about 20 or so years, 30, so slightly, so like almost a rug. Time is a bit much soup. I've even fought a war on behalf of the deities. through for most of that time, I wasn't really in their graces. The main deity I worshipped, the main goddess, never really seemed to acknowledge my devotion towards her, or at least never reported my devotion towards her, even as I piled the bodies higher.
Strange. That someone who ascended to godhood only days prior had a follower. That's just something that seemed a little weird to me this whole time, if you'll forgive me for thinking that. And I've just been burning to add, more pressing matters the entire time up until now. So there hasn't really been a good opportunity to ask about it.
At least I'll sort of give her like an almost half thing on. Fine. I know more about religion for both of us.
Well, that is good for me to hear.
If you have any more questions or any more stories you'd like me to share, I to tell you some tales.
Sorry, can you repeat that last part?
Lisa basically went, well, if you need any more explanations, want me to spin any more tales, I'm always open to share.
There's a nods, and she's like, I will keep that in mind.
Mhm.
But I will probably get myself ready to go for the day here now that I am awake, for better or for worse. That's all I really had to ask, I suppose.
Oh, the boy told me I should probably seek out Kitty for an explanation, something arcane, but you seem to have a good grasp of magic yourself. Is there anything you can tell me about? And Lisa is going to pull out the keys.
I will certainly do my best. Mr. DM, what sort of role is that? I assume Arcana.
It would indeed be.
Can Lisa aid her by telling her what she already knows about them?
Yes.
Poggers.
So what does that do game mechanics wise?
Gives you advantage.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that is a natural 20. The first roll was a 9. So that is a total of 32.
Woo!
Expertise gang, woo!
Alrighty. Okay. You look at it, and first thing you immediately tell, all but one of those is illusory. They just exist to kind of, like, if you aren't aware of which one is the correct one already, they're just kind of there to be a nuisance for law enforcement or any kind of more upstanding sort of person to be obfuscated by.
He does anything. Does anything.
Oh.
Like, I'll even give you this just as a real quick addition. You can like with your ability, you can readily dispel the illusory keys and just like leave the ring and the actual working one. The other ones are so extraordinarily simple in comparison.
Well, if that is something I can do, then I suppose that is something that I shall do to make things.
You and required 2 people. Required 4 arms.
Yes.
Would it be possible to